Welcome to Alive and Well, the podcast for the new era of high achievers. You're done burning out, and you're ready to lead, work, and live in a rhythm that honors both your brilliance and your body. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a trial attorney turned nervous system strategist, and I've lived the burnout story. I know what it's like to chase your goals at the expense of your well-being. And I also know it doesn't have to be that way. Here, we're redefining success. It's where productivity feels peaceful, boundaries feel like freedom, and energy comes from within. Each week, I'll share practical tools for nervous system regulation, time mastery, and somatic strategies so you can show up with clarity, calm, and confidence in every part of your life. Because you, my friend, were given a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. So here's to life and living it fully. This is the path to feeling alive and well. Let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to Alive and Well. It's Michelle here. So glad you guys are here today because this episode is going to be a little bit different. We've been talking lately about not just understanding what it means to be regulated or what it takes to feel regulated, but it's actually about integrating it, right? It's actually about embodying it, experiencing it, and feeling it. Because that's the truth. If you've been stuck in go mode, fight or flight, or maybe you're in a functional freeze response, and you've been that way for a long time, maybe you've been feeling anxious in the mornings or at night, or just chronically overwhelmed, or like you're on edge and you don't even know why exactly. Or maybe you feel really shut down and disconnected and you're procrastinating. You might not actually remember what being regulated feels like. And you are not alone in that. I think so many high functioning, high capacity women spend years in survival mode. And it really becomes their baseline, right? We're fast-paced, overproductive, under-rested, emotionally detached, and yet somehow we're still, quote unquote, holding it all together. And I think when someone says, hey, just relax, can you just take the afternoon and calm down? It doesn't really land because our body doesn't know how to do that anymore. So in this episode, I just want to give you a little taste on how to change that, not by talking about it, but I really want you to get this felt experience of what it's like to soften and to settle and to reconnect. So this is just a small taste of the work that we'll be doing together inside the free workshop that's coming up on Tuesday, August 26th, called From On Edge to At Ease. And I'll share more about that later on in the episode. But for now, let's really get started with this moment. Let's start with you. And as we dive into this experience today, I do want to just leave you with a caveat. Being regulated, you guys, doesn't mean that you are calm all the time. That's actually not a regulated nervous system. It doesn't mean that you never react. It doesn't mean that you always handle everything perfectly. It doesn't mean you never get triggered or never feel overwhelmed or always keep it all together or never hit this, any emotions, what have you. That's not regulated. Regulated is about capacity. It's about your nervous system's ability to actually show up and respond to stress when it's necessary. Sometimes you need a little bit of that fight or flight energy, but then can you not get stuck there, right? Do you have the tools and safety to come back down to baseline stress level? Can you feel the full range of human emotion without getting completely hijacked by your emotions, right? Regulating it in your emotions. Can you stay connected to yourself? Can you stay present in your body even when things feel challenging and uncomfortable and it would be so much more comfortable to just dissociate and disconnect, right? That's not being rigid. It's not being fixed. It's actually the opposite. Regulation is being flexible. It's a resilience, right? It's an adaptability. And when you're regulated, you guys, what happens is that you can ride the waves of life without shutting down without spinning out. You can be present, you can be grounded, you can be responsive instead of being reactive. Ultimately, it is a return to yourself, not escaping what's hard, not avoiding the challenges, not suppressing the uncomfortable, returning to yourself. So what I want to do today is I want to really take you through what regulation might actually feel like. Let's kind of break it down a little bit into a few different domains. So what does regulation feel like physically, emotionally, and relationally? Again, we're all different. We have had different life experiences, different relationships. We live different lives. We have different bodies. So all of these might not resonate, but some of them will probably resonate more than others. When you are regulated physically, that might feel like you have a greater capacity to breathe, moving freely and fully without being forced. So maybe you notice, especially if you've been listening to the show for a while or doing this work, that you're like, man, so often when I actually notice my breath, I realize that it just stays in my chest and it's kind of shallow and short and these like quick, short, shallow breaths all day long. When you're feeling regulated, your breath is going to be different. It's just going to move at a different pace to a different depth, right? It's going to feel more free to breathe more slowly and deeply. Your jaw is probably going to unclench and your shoulders will soften physically when you're feeling regulated. You're going to feel more grounded, like your body has a weight again, right? Like you're not just like floating and living in your head and scattered and all over the place and trying to be in 100 places at once and multitask and do 100 things at once. You're going to notice that you're actually in your body. And when you're regulated physically in your body, stillness isn't numbness. Sometimes my clients confuse stillness and numbness. They're like, yeah, I had moments of stillness yesterday. I just sat and like watched TV for 3 hours, or I found like, that I could sit on the couch and make a cup of tea and scroll through social media, or, I tried to sit with my kids, but like, I just couldn't feel much of anything. I couldn't like really even be present with them. I was just thinking about everything that I had to get done today. That's not feeling regulated. When we're regulated physically, stillness doesn't feel like numbness. We can engage in stillness. We can quiet our body and our mind without checking out. Emotionally, regulation might feel like, wow, I can actually hold what's happening in my life, in my work, in my parenting, in my marriage without being consumed by it, right? I can hold my kids' temper tantrums. I can hold my husband's rough day at work, right? I can hold just life without being consumed by it. I can actually feel joy and this like sense of aliveness and excitement. But I also have the ability to feel sad, again, without drowning in it, or I can experience anger and frustration without being completely hijacked by it. It might even feel emotionally like you have a sense of choice, right? Instead of like defaulting and automatically being sent into some sort of emotional spiral or outburst, or on the other side, instead of automatically just suppressing and repressing emotions, you actually feel like you have a sense of choice. Wow, I'm noticing X emotion and I'm feeling this kind of autonomy or this empowerment to choose what I do with that emotion, right? It doesn't just take over. It's like you have more than one gear. And then how does that show up in our relationships, right? Relationally, when you are regulated, that might look like the ability to really stay connected to yourself and others, right? Even in hard conversations or when things aren't going your way or you're disappointed or frustrated. Maybe it looks like you being able to say no without spiraling into guilt. Maybe it's when you're regulated, you can actually set and hold boundaries and you don't need to explain yourself and justify and like apologize or what have you. Maybe you can actually experience intimacy without self-abandonment. And here's what I often say, like when you are regulated, you can exhale and you don't need to explain why for everything, right? You can rest. You can actually feel rested. You can be with your body without flinching. And that's what I want to give you, your nervous system, a taste of now. So let's kind of walk through this really simple, really brief somatic opening. If you're somewhere, you can just settle down for a few minutes. Go ahead and do that. You don't need to be lying down. You don't necessarily need to be in silence. But if you can, just find a position where you feel supportive. Like maybe you're just going to sit back in your chair. Maybe you can lie down on your couch. Maybe it's just even standing still with your feet grounded. And if you're listening to this while you're walking, or if you're listening to this while you're driving, I think that's okay too. You can take it in. Obviously, keep your eyes open and be safe. And then just bookmark this episode. You can save it and you can always come back and revisit it later with your full attention. Okay, let's begin. Go ahead, and if you're able to, gently close your eyes. Take a moment and just land in your body. Right here, right now. And we're just going to be observers without feeling like you need to change anything, label anything as good or bad, judging anything. Just begin to notice your body. Bring your attention to your feet. Are you barefoot? Are you wearing socks? Are you wearing shoes? Are your feet cold? Are they warm? Notice your legs. What position are your legs in? Are they crossed? Are they at 90 degrees? Are they straight? Do they feel jittery? Do they feel heavy? Are they bouncing? How about your hips? Do your hips feel tight? Do they feel open? Do you feel the weight of your body on your hips if you're sitting? Is your weight distributed evenly, one side to the other, or not? Move up to your belly. Is your belly moving while you breathe? Does it feel tight or soft? Do you have a pit in your stomach? Any temperature there? Do you feel any heat? Moving up your chest. Notice your breath now without feeling like you have to change it. Does your breath feel shallow today? Is it staying in your chest? Does it feel deep? Do your breaths feel quick or slow? Any other sensations in your chest? Maybe you feel like a weight on your chest. Maybe you feel butterflies. Maybe you feel a ball of fire, your sternum. What do you notice? How about your shoulders, your neck? Any tension, any pain? Does your head feel balanced on your neck and shoulders? Does one side feel heavier than the other? How about your throat? Are you swallowing a lot? Does it feel dry? Does it feel scratchy? Does it feel itchy? Maybe you have a lump in your throat. How about your jaw? Right now, if your tongue is pressed to the roof of your mouth, let it just fall and soften. Same with your jaw. If you woke up with it clenched, maybe you're feeling some residual tension there. Let it just soften. What can you taste? Maybe it's still your morning coffee. Maybe it's a snack. Maybe it's the last thing that you ate. Notice where you're holding any tension. How about around your eyes? Those muscles work so hard on screens all day. Maybe it's around your eyebrows or your forehead or your hairline. Maybe you have a headache today, or you're just noticing tension in your head. Just notice. You don't need to fix it. Just name it. Notice where maybe you didn't feel much of anything at all. Numbness. Maybe there's parts of your body that feel really tense and braced. Maybe there's a lot of active energy, a buzzing in your chest or your belly or your arms or your hands. Maybe they're feeling really fidgety today. Just let yourself notice. Now go ahead and bring your awareness to your breath. I don't want you to force anything. Don't try to breathe deeply. Just notice your breath as it is. Beautiful. Now go ahead and take a slow, gentle inhale through your nose. And a longer, slower exhale through your mouth. Let it be long and slow. Just keep breathing on your own pace. Gentle inhale through your nose. Long, slow exhale through your mouth. And as you're breathing, let your shoulders drop with every exhale. Let your belly soften with every exhale. A few more rounds. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Softening, letting go with every exhale. Now gently begin to move. Bring your awareness to a part of your body that felt tight or buzzing or braced, tense, fidgety. Maybe it's rolling your shoulders out. Maybe it's swaying slightly from side to side. Maybe it's some shaking and some bouncing. Maybe it's just tapping or massaging that area. Follow the impulse of your body. Let your body move however it wants to. Don't overthink it. Don't force it. This is not anything fancy or complicated. Just let yourself move. Your body knows what it wants to do, what it needs. And just invite your body to soften now. Keep breathing. Just let your nervous system feel like it's able to move without performing. You're not doing it wrong. There's no right way. Allow yourself to exhale without bracing. Allow yourself to actually feel what you're doing in your body. Your touch, your breath, your movement. Notice all of it. Allow yourself to be home in your body. Allow that to wind down and come back to your breath. Take one more slow breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Keep breathing and bring your awareness to the space around you. If your eyes are closed, you can open them. What do you see? What can you hear? What can you touch, feel? Orient yourself to your surroundings. Bring yourself to the present. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Conclude your practice for today. Beautiful. If that felt subtle or surprising or even emotional, that's normal. It's totally okay. There's no right way to feel in doing this work. Sometimes just noticing how much we've been holding is enough to create a shift. Sometimes the body doesn't even know how tight it's been until we give it permission to release. And this is just the beginning, you guys. This was, 5 minutes. Not forcing anything, not faking anything, but really just giving your nervous system a taste of a new experience, right? Of a new way of being. And the idea is to learn more practices, tools. This is just a body scan. But what if you had 4, 5, 6 somatic tools in your back pocket that could help you shift back to baseline, back to a place of regulation, a new experience of safety, right? And you were able to use those consistently over time, over and over, until you rewired your nervous system and safety really became familiar again. What are you noticing right now? Are you noticing a lightness? Are you noticing that you feel relaxed? Maybe you have started yawning, or maybe you took a deep sigh or a big swallow, all signs that your nervous system shifted states. Maybe you feel at ease. Maybe it feels really good and open and expansive. Or maybe it made you realize how far from being at ease you've actually been. Whatever your experience, I want to invite you to join me inside the workshop that I'm doing on the 26th, From On Edge to At Ease. I'm going to be teaching it live on Zoom, and it's going to be exactly this kind of work, more of this, but deeper. We're going to explore different nervous system-based tools that help you shift out of survival mode, not through forcing it or willpower or motivation or discipline or any of that, but through safety. And you're going to leave. It's going to be an hour. You're going to leave after an hour, I promise you, with more capacity and more clarity and a real sense of what's possible for you. So you can go ahead and you can head on over to michellegrosser.com/workshop, or you can go ahead and click the link in the show notes to register and save your seat. I would so love to see you there, because you, my friend, you deserve it. You deserve to feel at ease in your body. You deserve a rest that actually lands, right? That feels like you're recharging and re-energizing instead of causing anxiety or restlessness. You really deserve to come home to yourself, not just in a moment or for a moment, but actually for good. And you don't have to learn how to do it alone. I've got you. We've got a whole community you can do it with. So I'll talk to you soon. I love you guys so much. I hope to see you inside of the workshop. Have the best day. Take care.